Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of the Sir Purrcast. Glad to be back. In today's episode, we are going to be continuing the positional overview series that started all the way back, I think, in episode 10. So all the way here, episode 33. We're going to be continuing the positional overview series. And this time we're going to be talking about the cornerbacks. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, as you know, the Panthers are also going to be just cornerbacks, so, like, no safeties, nothing like that. So just, keep that in mind, obviously. But obviously, Panthers cornerback room consists of, we'll do nickelbacks, too. Caleb Evans, Will Lee, Mike Jackson, J.C. Horn, Corey Thornton, and Shao Smith-Wade. Along with, obviously, there are other practice squad players, but those are, like, the main ones. And then, obviously, everything... Alright, so Corey Thornton, Shao Smith-Wade, and then nickel, and then Will Lee, Caleb Evans, Mike Jackson, and then J.C. Horn. Obviously, J.C. Horn is cornerback 1, which is J.C. Horn, which is why I'm gonna start first. Because I just feel like that makes sense. I don't know. But Horn has played for the South Carolina Gamecocks for college, where he was, along with another teammate who played for the Cowboys or something, or safety or whatever, invented the seatbelt celebration. So if you ever see a seatbelt celebration being used, just think of J.C. Horn. He invented it and came up with it at South Carolina, and that's his nickname. So that's just a cool little fact. But at South Carolina, he was amazing player. Picked 8th overall, I believe, by the Carolina Panthers. Obviously. And, yeah, it's kind of been, what he's been doing. He was injured in 2023, I believe. There might have been other seasons. He might have been injured his rookie year. But he really wasn't starting to get, actual passes towards him. He never was really getting actual passes and interception chances until this year, which he made the most of. Extremely productive. He might have had 5, I think. Jets twice times 2. Yeah, he had 5. Unless I'm missing one. But, Jags, Jets twice, and then obviously Niners twice. What you love to see, great production. Always been really good at coverage. We normally use him on the bigger receivers, the Drake Londons, and also normally matched up against their number 1 guy. But Mike Jackson's also taken a lot of that role more recently. But JC, he can do a lot of different coverage techniques, man or zone. But we're also, he's actually been a pretty productive sack rusher in the blitz, or pass rusher in the blitz. I think he's got some sacks, but I wanted to add that. But he has been used in zone this past offseason, in nickel. He has been used at the nickel spot this past offseason. Which is interesting because, the nickel corner, the nickel corner is definitely more of a small receiver to cover, the slot. But there are some benefits to that. Obviously, J.C. Horn is quick. The nickel corner is more small, quick. J.C. Horn only really checks one of those boxes, but, obviously, there's nothing... being too small is a bad thing. I really can't be too big in the NFL unless it affects your agility and speed, which it doesn't for JC, obviously, in terms of being a cornerback. But, I mean, it's interesting. That's definitely not his area of expertise, but he's definitely willing to learn it. I know he's definitely capable. But the reasoning for this, obviously I trust Evero and Renato Hill, obviously. Renato Hill being the secondary coach, for those of you who do not know. But I believe the reasoning is just, it allows you to have your three most talented and skilled corners on the field at once, which is Will Lee, J.C. Horn, and Mike Jackson. And in terms of that, I don't even know if I would say that's true yet. I think Will Lee definitely has the potential, and I think he will be the most talented. But if it's his rookie year, I don't think. I think just having a starting role thrust upon him if J.C. Horn takes nickel, I think that might be a bit much, especially if you're a 4th round pick. But I think he's definitely capable, but I don't know if that's the right move. But again, I trust Ronaldo, I trust Evero. But if it is, I think he can step up to it. I have a lot of trust in Willie. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league, and I'm glad we have him on our team. But there is a lot to be said for just letting a player develop. But obviously, no decision has to be made. It's another thing to watch in. You can't just know they're looking at it. But yeah, Horn really lengthy in terms of arms. He's made some great plays this year. Definitely, he was the highest paid corner in the NFL for a very brief period of time before Stingley. There might have been someone else, but I think 4 years, $100 million. That might have been what it was. But I'm not too sure. But all right, moving on. Mike Jackson. I'll start. We'll just go down the depth chart, I guess. Mike Jack. I know he was cut. He played with the Seahawks. Didn't get very many opportunities. And then the Panthers took him. He's been a baller ever since. He really has. He has been someone who just, steps up and you just, he's going to take away your number one option. He does not get beaten very often. He competes with some of the top guys in the NFL and wins. You see Drake London against the Falcons when they were trying to score before the half. Chris Olave, when he knocked the ball out multiple times, he beat Chris Olave multiple times. You look at Mike Evans when he strapped him a few times. And Jigma, Jack Smith and Jigma, picked off Darnold in the end zone when he was covering JSN. He beats people all over the place. Picked off Matthew Stafford twice. Really good coverage on Puka. Obviously he had that one catch on him, but that was still amazing coverage. He even got a hand on that ball. It's just, Puka Nacua, what are you going to do? But Mike Jackson, really good man guy, really good zone guy. I love Mike Jackson. He's been an amazing player for us for these 2 past years now. Made the game-winning pass breakup against the Saints in Week 9 last year, or if you consider this year 2026 and last year, because it's 2024. And he's gotten better over the years. He's kept improving, which is really nice. And I'm just super excited for next year. I want this man to be with us till retirement. I think him and JC, obviously he being having the year he had this year, most PDFs in the NFL at 19. I've mentioned that every other episode. Same with the JC Horn seatbelt thing, but but yeah, I mentioned that every other episode. And that's gonna cause people to throw to your other corners. And then when you have another corner like JC, and he's gonna also get picks, and then they're gonna be like, oh, we have to go back to Mike Jackson, and Mike Jackson's gonna get picks, and it's just gonna keep going. We have one of the best cornerback rooms in the NFL, if not the best. JC Horn, Mike Jackson, and then Will Lee upcoming. And then obviously, I think Shafton Swain has made some good plays. Corey Thornton has been productive. You have a bunch of these guys. Caleb Evans, he's made some clutch tackles. all these guys, I think it's going to be a really good year for this group. I think Mike Jackson's going to take a big step. I feel like later in the year, we've kind of left Mike on. He was covering Devontae a lot, which he absolutely did an amazing job on that in the wild card game. But he definitely switches from number 2 to number 1 guy. I feel like if a team has, I'm gonna have to watch more film on this because I'm not too particularly sure. But from what I've seen, just like remembering back from games, I feel like Mike has taken the number 1 guy a lot, and they've left JC more in zone on the other side. But again, I have to watch more film on that. I'm not too sure. But I know Mike can handle it. I know he can go up against anyone and win. Obviously, you see him get beat. If you're covering the best players in the NFL, you're going to get beat a couple times. And you're also going to make plays. That's just the reality of it. But I'm super excited for what he has to offer next season. I think he's going to open up a lot of opportunities for new guys to get reps. I think he's going to make even more of an impact than he did last year. Also a really good tackler. Just in space, open field, get after the buck very well. Moving on to the slot, I guess, nickelback. Shaf Smith-Wade, he was drafted in 2020. I want to say 2024. I think I'm going to go 2024, and I'm going to look it up. Yep. And he's made some impactful plays. I think a lot of people's minds go to the pick 6 against the Falcons in week 3 to put the Panthers up 17-0 on Michael Penix. Great job jumping the route there. And then also the interception against the Bucs in week 13 last year. Or last year. Like I said, all the stuff about that, but yeah. I think if you look at the production, I think, obviously if you're not a high round pick, you don't expect too much, and I think he's definitely overperformed his pick value, being in, I'm not sure, I want to say, I'd soon, 5th round, yeah, I was gonna say 5th or 6th. Being in the 5th round, you don't expect too much, and and he has been productive. Obviously, there have been some plays where he has been like a weak link, but I think he definitely overperformed. And I think he's just gonna be someone who keeps to improve. Obviously we're looking at that battle, especially if JC makes that jump. Corey Thornton or Shaw's place on the team definitely could be threatened. And I think both of them are going to work even harder this year. I think both of them are going to be better. And I don't know necessarily, because I think they're going to have a pretty good year. Again, just continuing to get better. Obviously, this is a contract year for him. After the season, his 5th year option is going to be decided, I guess, if they pick it up. So he's going to have to really, fight for that. Prove why he should keep playing for this wonderful team that is the Carolina Panthers. I think he definitely could be someone to watch out for. I don't know who's going to win that battle between Thornton. This is all assuming that JC does switch to nickel full-time, which, again, still a lot of doubt in. There's nothing guaranteed. As of right now, JC is cornerback 1, not nickel. He's manning up against the number 1 guy. So, like I said, this is all assuming, nothing, basically. But moving on, I'm going to go to a Caleb Evans. I think that's a Caleb Evans. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. He has been pretty good, I'd say, for the Panthers. Obviously, he's someone you picked up in the practice squad. He's been productive for the couple of games he played. I think he's definitely shown great team player role. Obviously, you're not going to expect too much from him being just the type of expectations you've had, but he has made some tackles and he's had some pretty good coverage. I think he's definitely someone who his roster spot could be threatened. He's gonna have to make a name for himself, but right now I'm pretty optimistic for him. I know I've been saying that about everyone, but again I'm hopeful. This is genuine. I don't really see him as a weak link, to be honest. In the way I have seen Nick Scott in some plays. We'll get to that in the safety thing, but sidetrack real quick. I love Nick Scott. I think he's absolutely positive for this team. I think there's been some plays where he's gotten beat. That have hurt us a little bit. But I think overall Nick Scott is a really good player, and I would love to see him stay on this team. I think a lot of people are giving him way too much hate. I'm not gonna argue that, especially in that Rams game, especially. There have been some plays that didn't go in his favor, and there are some mistakes that he made. I'm not talking about the absolutely just non-existent penalty that they should never have called on him for hitting Devontae Adams after he made the catch. I mean, that's just a football play. I mean, you can't even play football. I mean, that's not. I don't think that's fair at all. I think that's absolutely should not have been called. But getting back to Caleb Evans. I'm going to see more from him. To just say that he is a cornerstone piece of this team. But right now, I don't see any reason that he should be with us. I think he could still progress into an amazing player. And right now, I think he's been productive enough to stay on there. I don't think he's been a liability. But this is, again, I'm positive about everyone. We're going to go into moving on to Will Lee III. He was picked in the 4th round this year. Oh gosh, no, I'm second guessing. Okay, thank God he was in the 4th round. I was gonna say 122, but I remember that's Lathan Ransom. Will, obviously, he's a blanket. Recent article on Panthers.com. You should go read it. But he was super impressive in college. There's been a lot of speculation. I think there's been a lot of hype around him. And I'm pretty excited. I think he could see a lot of playing time the way people are talking about him. And he's much more size, like lengthy cornerback. That's his skill set. That's what he does. That's what he brings. And I think that's really big for this team. That's exciting. He develops. He learns under JC and Mike Jack, and he can develop into one of the top guys in the league alongside those two. Which is, what I mean. That's what I say. I think the possibility of JC switching, and then Will Lee being on the field. You have Mike Jack, JC, and Will. I think that's high. I don't see a reason to do it this year. I think the room right now is really good where it is. I don't. Obviously, like I said, I trust Ronaldo and Navarro and everyone else making those decisions. But I think there's a lot to be said. Just, maybe letting him learn a bit. And then obviously next year you can see a lot more responsibility. And I think he's ready for it. But, obviously, I think he could do it now. I think it'll be more beneficial in the long run though. And obviously, that's what you want. You want key cornerstone pieces, especially when you're drafting. I think we definitely got a steal in terms of Will Lee. The upside is unbelievably high. He definitely reminds me a lot of, a Derek Stingley. in terms of, his ability to just cover, just take away, especially in college, just take away, one of their top players. And I think he definitely has the ability to do that in the NFL. It's just a matter of if he can execute, which I'm hopeful. Very hopeful he can. Okay, moving on, Corey Thornton. Corey Thornton is another one of those nickel cornerbacks. Again, I've talked about him a little bit right now. I've talked about him a little bit right now in terms of his battle for the nickel position, which he has played in a decent amount. He was he has been, I think right now, him and Shower kind of at the same level. I think it could go either way with those two. I think Corey obviously has a lot of upside. I think Shower does too. I think they're both equal in just overall genetic. And I think it's just gonna be a matter of who wants it more. I think both of them. I think both of them are capable. I think it's just a matter of who's gonna give it them. They're all. And I am excited to see. That battle. Obviously, I believe he had a fumble. I believe he had a fumble against the Packers. I could be wrong. That might have been Nick Scott. Am I tripping? Obviously he was injured with the wait, no, I don't even want to say that. Wait, let me look at the highlight. I'm just gonna go to YouTube. Alright, you might hear something on the screen. I think you will. And I don't know how to fix that. Oh. Okay. Alright, Panthers backwards forced fumble. This is like a massive side quest. Is this? I don't want to roast the Tom Grossi video because I'm just gonna switch up Panthers to the side. I mean, it was in the opening drive, which was a really key play for us.
One plan, one price. Introducing Simplicity from Verizon.
We gotta get the X-Men back to the 90s.
Be a huge taking the test. There's conversation. Josh Jacobs.
If you can hear this, I apologize. I don't think, it's
blocked on his first. Got the series. Screen pass. Savion Williams, the rookie, trying to maneuver. Nick Scott, the safety, was in front of him, and then the rest of the team rallies. That ball came out. That ball was ruled.
Let's watch the.
At least safe like can come to you.
Safe like ad. All right, let's listen to the game-winning field goal though.
For free,
They can come
Why
in
not?
for free.
That's right. Safe.
Game-winning field goal, come on. Oh, all right, it's wraps. Okay, we're not gonna. All right, this kind of spiraled, but thank you so much for watching. Keep pounding. I'll see you in the next one tomorrow.